This short film will present the Baroque and Rococo style in Europe at the example of the Catholic parish church of Saint Martin in Ottendichl, Bavaria. Baroque is a word that is mostly used to describe the European culture of the 17th century. The word comes from the Portuguese barroco, describing a crooked pearl, giving it a negative connotation. During the century, there was new ways to view and produce art, not just paintings and sculptures, but architecture as well. Mostly religious and worldly rulers would build in this new style, showing a newfound confidence the Church had after the Reformation. Thus, the style has its roots in Rome, where the Pope wanted to emphasize the Counter-Reformation. France, as an absolutist state, and the Holy Roman Empire soon followed in this style and evolved it. Baroque and Rococo. Spatial design was especially important for this era. Some say the style resembles that of the Renaissance, but as a more feral cousin. The Baroque style wanted to chase its motifs to the extreme with excessive decoration and stucco. It wanted to admit grandeur, for example with illusionistic ceiling paintings that suggested the unity of the earthly church and the heavenly church. The Rococo style is an evolution of the Baroque style. The once heavy splendor of Baroque ornaments became lighter. The colors got mixed with white to give it some lightness. Almost every straight line was being transformed into curlicues and oscillations. Almost every surface got covered in floral ornaments. The most noticeable feature of the Rococo style is the conscious avoidance of symmetry. The Church St. Martin. Not every part of this church is Baroque. Just like many old buildings, it's an amalgamation of many different styles, as it has been influenced by the people living in those times. The church itself has been built in the late Gothic era, to be precise, the year of 1475, from which the saddleback roof tower still stands. The nave of the church has been rebuilt in the year 1697, falling right into the Baroque era. Its interior is dated to 1725. The interior. Approaching the church from the outside, one would say it looks rather simplistic. Only the 6 crumper windows, inspired by an architect named Crumper, can lead the viewer to believe otherwise. One must step through an unassuming anteroom into the Baroque nave. The room is vaulted by a flat barrel ceiling. It is covered in an abundance of stucco. It consists of rosettes, tendrils and shells unfolding into flower garlands and curtain draperies, with little angel heads and sculpted cherubs holding the garlands. This colorful and grand interior is being concentrated around the pulpit and culminates at the chancel arch. There the viewer can see a framed picture depicting 3 men with whom the artist tried to represent the Trinity of God. Such depictions were banned in 1745 because people could assume there were 3 gods. The church patron Saint Martin is also the theme of the 3 ceiling frescoes. The 2 side altars are placed slightly askew to guide the viewer's gaze into the high altar. The high altar, created around 1700 and marbled around 1725, is based on a Roman triumphal arch architecture. The altarpiece depicts Martin as an officer of the Roman army, sharing his cloak with a freezing beggar. On either side of the altar, one can see twisted columns, likely inspired by the high altar canopy of St. Peter's Church in Rome. Conclusion. I find the mixture of architecture in this piece quite fascinating. Over a long period of time, people helped shape this church and its opulence we see today, even though we are just in a small village outside of Munich. The delicate stucco and colorful paintings withstood time and present themselves to us in a lavish interplay that was typical to this era.